Well, I just got back from Corsica, and you can see that it's a very tight fit here for our game, and we're going to get ready to play. But I pulled out the components to just give you an overview of what the components are. Here I put away, there's our droid army that's going to be coming and marching around the planet. We have our mission planets, but these are the invasion cards, so I'm just going to place them up at the top. Now, I do lose a little bit up at the top, as you can see. I just don't have a room. These invasion cards are your typical cards that you would see just about everywhere in every pandemic version there is, and this is going to guide us to where droids go and where the villain starts at the very beginning of the game. Now, I played last night, and our villain didn't really move that much because she actually, and we're going to play the same one today. We're going to be playing Asajj Ventress along with Ahsoka and Mace Windu. So what we're going to do is just mix up our cards here. So if we pull these cards, once they get mixed in, that's where the droids are going to go on the mission cards. So we're going to just do that and put that here. Again, it's a very, very tight fit. So you can see the planets down here are going to be, I'm just going to pull that down a little bit cut off, okay? Just bear that in mind, that it's a little bit cut off as I try to have as much space as I can to show the game off, of course. Now, here is our villain, and basically, if Ventress is on a mission planet, advance a threat. So every time she hits a mission planet, we're going to advance threat. So we're going to just put her here. Now we're going to just move her down a little bit further than what you would normally see. Again, her head is just cut off. So we're going to have to control where she is too. Now I don't know if that happens once a turn. If Ventress is on a mission planet, advanced threat. Yeah, so yeah, we may have played her slightly wrong yesterday. So we're going to have to control where she is, and there we are. So she has a special deck, and here it is. So there's a number of different cards. So if she gets killed, she'll come back on eventually with this, putting her on the top of, pick a top card and put her on the board. And then of course, this is the mechanic that we always look for, is the planet under siege. And that's your typical advance the invasion marker, draw from the bottom of the deck, and fill the matching planet to 3 droids and shuffle the invasion discard pile. Okay, so we're just going to give them a quick shuffle. And that is our villain deck right there. Oh, again, just a little bit closer. Okay, this is our squad deck. So our squad deck is what's going to drive our hands. Now this plays different than other pandemic games, because in most pandemic games, right, you have cards in your hand and then you trade, you use them. Not here. This is more like a hand management. You'll have cards laid down and you'll tap them for their power. So here is Wolf. He can add an attack on your planet, which would be a squad. So you can have shadow or attack, and there's your shadow attack. It would be the purple guy. So there's a neat little rule here. So as you can see here, we have an assault and stealth. So assault is you're coming in, and stealth is you have not seen us. So, and these are our combat cards, and you can use them, but you can't mix them when you're battling. It's even true if you are cooperatively battling together as a pair on a mission. And of course, we have some tanks, vehicles that'll help us armor. We have some allies. There's Chancellor Palpatine, C-3PO, and they have their one uses, and then they get put back into the discard pile. The rest you keep, and then every time you get 7 cards, of course, you have to discard 1, but you may have to change your hand a couple of times through the game. And why do you do that? Because the missions, and I'll show you the mission cards in a second. So we're going to just give them a little shuffle, and we're going to put the squad deck right here, we're gonna just move it up just a little bit so you can see it. Normally they're down here, but we'll just move them up a little bit, and the discard pile will be here. And here are the mission cards. So the mission cards, as you can see right here, this is Water War. And then when completed, roll a die 3 times. The current Jedi suffers that much damage. You can see it'll take place way over here in Mon Cala. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to solve the mission. That means we're going to have a combination of 6 vehicles or assaults. And they're all different. You can see there we're going to take a wound, and lots and lots of them. There's 24 mission cards. In most typically game, you're going to have between 3 and 6, depending on the players that you want to play with and how hard you want to make it. Now, last night, my wife and I gave this a go. We missed some of the rules, but you can play anywhere. You can actually play 6+. So you can actually have a lot of mission cards. And what we do with the mission cards is, we're just going to play on a simple 3 missions, right? Because it's a beginner game, and we don't want to have a 3-hour game on video because I don't want to put you to sleep. So I think the challenge for solo will be a 3. So all we're going to do is take 3 random cards, 2 and 3, and that is it. And then we'll put the rest back somewhere. Ah, yes, in our little baggie, in our box. As we clean it up, I'm going to clean the space up as we go. There we go. That just gets rid of that. So you may be wondering, what do we do here? Well, first we're going to just put her up there for a second. We're going to get rid of this box. Then we're just going to toss that way over there on a pile. But for now, so what we'll do is we'll put our mission cards here. Okay, there is our mission cards, and we'll draw our mission cards in a moment. We'll put our droids up here out of the way. We are going to now take our cards. We're going to have Mace up here, and we're going to have Osaka. That was a cool in the was it the Mandalorian? Yeah, so cool in the Mandalorian. A little bit of shininess over here. I don't think I can do much better than this. At this point, I can try to bring Mace down so you can see him a little. Oh, there's Mace. So we'll bring him down a little bit for now, and then we may have to adjust as we go here. So now you might wonder what the starting planets will be, and we'll draw the starting planets in a minute. And you can see what happens. We have the reference cards, and what they do with the reference cards is the starting planet. So these will drive where our Jedi are going to start. And because Mace is part of the Jedi Council, he's going to go first. This is a solo game, therefore he will have that marker just to remind us who's going first. We're going to take 2 of these cards. We'll take 1 for Mace and 1 for Shaka. And the rest we're going to put back in the box in a minute. Now what we do is, if you've ever seen, now what you're looking up here is the blockade tokens. We'll explain that in a second after we seed the planet. So let's just take a few of these in my hand. Okay, so we're going to flip the first card. It's Obi Daya, and you can see that it's aligned to the board. You can see the red up there. We can see the red planet. It tells you where it is, and he's going to get 3. 1, 2, and oops, 2. Now the only thing I've noticed with these, and we'll just put that in the plate, is that they tend to get stuck like this. So these are a little bit on the frustrating side because they're so small. I almost want to see if I can get something bigger. Okay, now we'll draw the next one, which is Corellia, which is down here somewhere right there. He'll get 3 droids. So this is so far. It's the very typical setup, right? The next one will get 2, and this will be Dothmore, which is somewhere. Dorothea, sorry. No, Dothmere. Now I got to remember, I can't really see at the bottom of my glasses because of I have progressive lenses. And so sometimes reading can be a little bit tricky depending on what angle I'm looking at. Rishi, which is up here, gets 2. So I wouldn't say this is a 5-5-5 game because the setup is just a little bit more than the normal 5-5-5, but it's close. Now we're going to put 1 on Mandalore. Now, what happens on the last one is we're going to do the same thing. We are going to take Lola Seyu for this guy. And then the last one, which is Kishik, up here is going to get our Haj. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. My wife pronounced these as so much better. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our Jedis, and our Jedis are going to go. So we are going to take our Jedi and go to where? Camino. Ooh. And Oshaka is going to go to Naboo. Pretty close. There we go. We'll just put them up out of the way. Next thing we know, we're going to pick our first mission. Hunt Verzero. And that is going on Nahuta. So that is on the orange. So we're going to do that. Now, this is bad. So we're going to have to we're going to have to get here, and we're going to have to prevent the our villain from being here, because the threat is going to go up every time she is turned there. Every time she goes in, it says, what does it say? It says, if Venture is on a mission planet, advance threat. So we want to make sure that at the start of her turn, we are not advancing the threat. And that is the orange one. And it needs 6 of these ships. Okay, and we haven't given out the cards. And then Blue Shadow Virus, that's going to do a lot of damage to us. If a secret bioweapon lab, Dr. Nuvo Vindi engineers an airborne strain of previously eradicated diseases, and that's on Naboo down here. So they're going to go down here, just like that. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to give 3 cards each. 1, 2, and 3. So you can see right off the bat we do not have any of these ships. So 1, 2. Oh no, stealth and a. So this is a problem for us right away. This could be a very, very short game. But anyway, that is the setup of the game. It's that easy. And each turn, before we start, I guess we can say that, and I'll show you, we'll get to actually attack very quickly. Actions, we can fly, that's our move, right? We can move to a planet. We can roll the dice and attack. We roll the dice, we can use our cards, and if we have a splat, we take a damage. By taking a damage, one of your squad members go. You can attempt a mission. You roll the dice, you take damage. You count out that are blockade or villain before finale. So in other words, if she gets here, I have to kill the villain beforehand. And those are our 4 movement things that we do. So that is the end of our turn. Not our turn, but our start here. I think this is going to be a little bit more difficult than Warcraft, perhaps. But we're going to